Morning YouTube, it's Author NZ here. Haven't put up a video for a while, but I got up this morning and found out that tomatoes were $1.49 a kilo at our supermarket, so I thought, well, today's a great day to make tomato sauce. I haven't made it for a while and I follow my grans recipe. My gran's 95 this year, so she's doing well. I don't think she makes sauce anymore, but I've started making it. So I thought I'd do a quick video on what I do, and in there I've got some tomatoes that I'm still chopping. I just chop them in half and then put them in the blender and give them a bit of a zap in the blender, and then they just go into a big stock pot once I've blended them. And then all it is really is a kilo and a half of brown sugar, a pint of vinegar and some pickling spice, and the pickling spice goes into a piece of muslin, and that just hangs in the pot. So once I get it all in the pot, get on the stove, I'll do a little shot, and I'll print the recipe on the bottom of the page in the description so you can see how easy it is. There's virtually nothing to it. There's also some salt that goes in here, and I think I'm going to chop up an onion. I'll throw an onion in there as well, really finely diced onion, and I might even put just a little bit of garlic in here this time. I generally try and do the same recipe, but I have a habit of modifying things and just adding things just to see if it's better or worse. So this time it's going to have a bit of onion and a little bit of garlic in there as well. Alright, so stay tuned and I'll be back when I get this on the stove. So as you can see here, we've got little stickers on our tomatoes, so I think it's really important to make sure that you take all the stickers off. And when I chop them, all I do really is I just take that little heart out, the little heart in the centre of the tomato, and then they basically just get quartered and thrown in the blender. Now you don't really want to mince them up too much, but I just put them in the blender just to make them easier and quicker to cook through when the sauce is cooking. Now my gran used a thing called a Mouli, and I've got her one, so I'll get that out and I'll show you what that is. And that was sort of what they used in the days before food processors. Alright, so I've added the sugar. There's quite a lot of sugar. There's a kilo and a half of brown sugar. I've got the pickling spice in the muslin. I finely diced and blended an onion, and there's about a dessert spoonful of crushed garlic, and there goes 3 ounces of salt. And then the final thing that I need to add is a pint of vinegar, and then all that will go on the stove and it'll cook like that for about 3 hours. And I've got 2 packets of pickling spice in the muslin, and hopefully in a few hours I'll take it off the stove and I will give it another whiz in the blender just to get it to a nice consistency, and then I'll probably heat it up again before I bottle it. Alright, so I've got it on the stove. I'll get that up to the boil, and it's just starting to bubble away now. So I'll get that up to the boil and I'll turn it down and let it simmer for about 3 hours like that. Now over here I've got, this is what we had before we had food processors, and this is my gran's Mouli, and that was what she would use to do the sauce after it had been cooked. She'd run it through the Mouli, and it's got different blades just like our food processors have got now, but it's just a tin device with a handle that you crank around and your sauce comes out the bottom. So it's much easier with the food processor, but I just thought I'd put that on the end of the video just to show you how it used to be done. So there it is, that's the sauce. It's been boiling away for about 3 hours, so I've uncovered it and I've pulled out the muslin with the spice mix in it. And I'm just going to let that boil away a bit longer just to reduce a little bit, otherwise it can end up a little bit thin. And then I'll just let it cool down a bit and into the beer bottles. I just use my bottles that I use for home brewing, and it'll probably fill up 6 of the big ones and probably two of those stubbies there. So you don't get a lot out of it, but it's certainly worth doing. It's a lot nicer than bought tomato sauce, and about $20 for all those ingredients, so it's even cheaper. Alright, thanks for checking out Author NZ.